Good morning, and welcome to our presentation this morning. I'm Jim Guinan, Annuity Sales Director here at Financial Brokerage, and with me today is Melva Newbrough with North American Internal Sales, and our topic today is on beneficiaries and their options with qualified and non-qualified money. And then Melva is also going to delve a little bit more into one of those product options, the Versa Choice, and I think drill a little farther into that product for us today. So I will turn the presentation over to Melva in a few minutes, but first of all, I want to say thanks for taking the time to listen today and be part of the presentation, and that we are recording it. And then also as we go through, as Melva goes through her presentation, if there's any questions that you have, don't hesitate to type a question in, and we will do our best to get to all of those at the end of the presentation. So with that, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about some things going on and happening here at Financial Brokerage. And first of all, we do have our 2023 incentive trips have been announced. We have two of them. And the first one, as you can see on the screen here, is the Big Island in the spring of 2023. Don't have an exact date yet, but the qualification for that, as you can see here, is $65,000 of paid annualized life premium, or 1.625 of Tier 1 annuity premium, or of course any combination of business that you write. So all products at Financial Brokerage count towards our incentive trips. All right, and then the second incentive trip that we have scheduled is the golf in the Sandhills of Nebraska, western Nebraska, and that will be in the summer. As you can see, Prairie Club, $25,000 of annualized life premium, or $625,000 of Tier 1 annuity premium, or again any combination. So that should be a fantastic trip. I'm told that's a beautiful area of Nebraska. It's in Cherry County. So again, those are some rewards that we are looking forward to helping you qualify for. And again, all business at Financial Brokerage counts towards our incentive trips. And then last thing I want to just touch on here, of course, is referrals. You know, our agents, you, the agent, are out growing the business through referrals. Well, we do the same here. Our best contacts over the years have been from agents that you refer to us here at Financial Brokerage. So as you can see, that this is what you can look forward to as far as an override. Basically, we went away from a one-time cash bonus to more of an ongoing override a number of years ago, and I think it's really incentivized a lot of producers to find quality producers for us to talk to. So there's a vested interest in doing so for you. So if you have any questions about that referral program, please let me know. Let our other staff know if you work with Brian or David or Tim, the other marketers here at Financial Brokerage. So again, we always appreciate referrals that you give us, and that is, again, how we grow our business the best way. So with that, I would like to turn the presentation over to Melva, and I will turn that over to her now. So there you go.
Awesome. Hey, good morning, everybody. So as Jim said, I am Melva Newbrough, and there I am. Hello. I am the internal wholesaler here for North American Annuity, and I try to help support our IMO partners and agents with writing annuity business. So Jim and I have worked together for several years. I've actually been with the company for, it'll be 22 years next month. So been here for quite some time. My prior role, I was on the sales support desk. So have worked with just about every field here within the company. So definitely can utilize some resources with me. So I'm so excited, and thank you, Jim, for allowing me to share some information with you guys today. I've got a few different sales ideas for you, including, touting a couple of our accumulation products here with North American and how we may be a great fit for some of your clients. So to get started here, I just wanted to kind of give you just a little tiny bit of why North American. We have, it's as I mentioned, I've been here 22 years. I, of course, love the company. We have over 130 years of strength and stability. So we are privately held. We're held under Salmon's Financial. So we are not subject to that short-term earnings pressure that sometimes those publicly held companies can face. So we are really able to look towards the future and not make knee-jerk reactions. With that, then, we have really maintained those strengths. We are, as you can see there, A+ with AM Best, S&P, as well as Fitch. So we're super proud of that, and we have been A+ for several years now. So kind of a why North American, because you can trust us, and we have some great stability there. And I've got that strength and stability flyer available as that you can hand out to clients as well. So here's the second thing that I really feel maybe sets us apart somewhat, along with what Jim shared with you that financial brokerage does for their agent base. We also have a commission program. We call it our EPC program. This is giving you the opportunity to earn some additional commissions by hitting certain fixed indexed annuity sales goals. So once you hit a $2 million in FIA sales with us, we're going to pay you an additional 50 basis points in commission. That doesn't just start after that $2 million. Once you hit the $2 million, you'll be added to the program, and then we're going to pay you retro back that 50 basis points that you would have earned on that original $2 million. And then you continue in that program going forward throughout the contract year, or calendar year, I should say. Our second level is the president level, and that's $4 million of production, an additional 1% of commission, again paid retro, all the way back to $1, and chairman level 1.5% additional commission at $8 million. And again, it is fixed first year fixed indexed annuity premium that counts towards that program. All right, so let's get into our very top selling accumulation product, and it is called the Versa Choice. Just a little bit about the product. It does have a 10-year surrender charge schedule. It's a modified single premium product, which just basically means that you can add money up until the 1-year anniversary, and then you can't add anything else after that time frame. You have your regular 10% penalty-free withdrawals. Issue ages go all the way up through age 79. And your minimum premium to start the product is $20,000. I will show you some slides where it would behoove you, if you do happen to have $75,000 or more to start the product, that you do get some higher rates with this product. But that's the basics. There is no premium bonus. We really feel like we're going to try to give you rates. So, if you're getting a premium bonus, y'all know you got to give and take somewhere. So with this one, we decided no premium bonus. We're going to put what we can into the rate for the client instead for growth opportunity. Okay, so we really tout on our products. We have some really nice diversification options. So they say one is the loneliest number, but I'm telling you, if you put 100% of your client's premium in one allocation option, it could backfire. We've had some really great performance with our S&P multi-asset risk control. Unfortunately, sometimes the market does not correspond with that. And so if you've got 100% in one, you could be facing the 0 for that year. So we actually offer 9 uncapped strategies, and those illustrate anywhere from a 3.9 annual effective rate all the way up to a 9.5% effective rate. And those are based upon the last 10 years of historical performance. We love to really tout our strong financial brands. We're going to offer indexing options from both our S&P partners as well as our Fidelity partners. The Versa Choice actually has some proven performance strengths. In 2019, our actual average interest credited to our clients in that year was 5.9%. And in 2020, that went up to 6.7%. Those are real numbers. Those are real numbers from our clients. So we really tout our strength, our stability, our performance within those numbers, and that was specifically with this Versa Choice product. And here, as I promised, so I just had shared with Jim before we started our presentation here today that the fantastic news is that we are having a rate increase. So these are the updated rates. As you can see, these are as of 2/15. So I'm shooting you a week into the future here for these rates, but so exciting. I mean, if you look, here's where I was talking about how if you have 75,000 or more to start this product, where you can see a huge difference in those declared rates, we really give that client a little more growth opportunity with that higher dollar amount. Now, I have been asked in the past if I can start this policy with 20,000, but I can get it up to 75 by the end of the first year by adding premiums. Do I get the higher rate? Unfortunately, that answer is no. You're still going to be in those low bands. It's only if you start with 75,000 or more that you're in those high band interest rates. But even those low band rates right now with this rate change are extremely attractive. If you go down to our the very last line here, the 2-year point-to-point with enhanced participation rate, that is for 75,000 or more, 205%. That does have an annual strategy charge to the client of 1.5, but we do have a true-up feature on this product. What does that mean? It means that at the end of that 10-year time frame, if your clients have utilized any of our strategy charge opportunities, we're going to look to make sure that they made enough in the credited interest rate to make up for paying those fees. So it's really a no-risk opportunity for those clients to participate in those higher participation rates. All right. So basically about, I would say, 85% of our policies, I don't know if you can see that notification thing. I'm not sure why that came up there. About 85% of our policies come in just within the standard. So meaning just that basic product. However, here's another sales idea for you. This product also offers an optional enhanced liquidity benefits rider. This rider has 4 total benefits and it's 1 fee. So the fee is 60 basis points, so a really small charge to get 4 additional liquidities. The first one is the enhanced penalty-free withdrawals. So instead of just having access to 10% of your money, you'll have access to up to 20% if you haven't taken a withdrawal in a prior year. It does stay at that 20% until you take a withdrawal, and then it drops back down to 10%. But again, the next year could increase to 20% if no withdrawals taken. This also contains a return of premium, so a nice safety net for your clients that maybe have some apprehensions about going into a fixed indexed annuity. This return of premium feature on a 10-year product, after that 3rd contract year, they can exercise a return of premium and get all of their money back out with no surrender charges or market value adjustment. So that's a pretty powerful message to the clients to say, hey, if you have some really good returns and you opt to do that return of premium, we are going to look to see was the premium that you submitted to us or this surrender value, which is higher, and the client gets back the higher of those two. These next two benefits I just love to talk about because it definitely fits into a quote, quote, niche. So these are two liquidities that are based on the client not being able to perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. The first one is a complete surrender charge waiver. That means that anytime after the issue date of the contract, if the client can sign on the disclosure, there's a box that they check to say, as of the date that I'm signing this, I can perform all 6 activities of daily living. That's all the medical response we need, is just that check mark from the client saying that as of the date signing, they can perform those. So anytime after the issue date of the contract, if we get a signed physician's certificate stating that the client cannot perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, and they're expected to stay in that state, then their policy becomes 100% liquid. Their full accumulation value is available to them to take out as they wish with no surrender charges. The other opportunity that they have, if they qualify with those ADLs, is that you could do a multiplier, a payout benefit. So beginning year 3, if the client qualifies for the ADL based and they choose to take this payout benefit, we'll take 110% times their account value. We'll pay that out over 5 equal payments. Now, we'll have clients say, well, what if I pass in the first 2 years and I've only taken 2 years of my 5 years of payments? Someone is going to get that payment for 5 years, whether that's the client or whether that's their beneficiary. You can see that as the years progress, if they choose to take that payout benefit, say in year 6, we're going to multiply their account value by 125%. Another really nice opportunity on this is that if it's non-qualified money, it works just like creating a 5-year period certain SPIA where the client does have a cost basis. We're not going to tax them on all of the gains first. They are going to have this cost basis where they're going to have an exclusion ratio on their payments. So I bring that up because, if you have clients that, number one, they don't qualify for a long-term care policy, or number 2, they just feel like a long-term care policy is so expensive for them, here is a great opportunity to give them these surrender charge waivers and payout benefits for that ADL-based payment for a very low fee of 60 basis points on the contract. All right. So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of, hey, I'm working with some beneficiaries of my clients. I've got a client base, or I've got beneficiaries coming to me. And unfortunately right now, unfortunately the death rate is up. So if you've got some of these clients and they're inheriting non-qualified annuity plans, and if those annuity plans have some high gains, that could create a very large tax burden for that beneficiary. So we here at North American have the opportunity for you and the option for you to utilize our Versa Choice10 product to take care of those beneficiaries with a non-qualified stretch. Now, I also have Performance Choice 8 on there, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But especially if you have a client that has at least $75,000 or more, they're 79 years of age or younger, the non-qualified stretch with Versa Choice works wonderfully. So what happens here is that the beneficiary must take a required distribution on a non-qualified stretch based upon that beneficiary's age. So normally that RMD can be fairly low. They do have to take out that first distribution within the first year of the date of death of that original owner. So very important. And with the Versa Choice product, that's available because the 10% penalty free is available in that first year. As I mentioned, payments are based on life expectancy of the beneficiary, and then each subsequent RMD has to be taken by December 31st of the following tax year. Owners, they have to be natural people. We cannot do a non-qualified stretch if you have a trust, estate, or corporation, for example, as the beneficiary of your policies. That's not eligible for us to do as stretch. Okay, so how does this work? Well, very simple. Wealth is distributed out in those equal payments over the remaining life of the beneficiary, while your account balance is going to remain tax deferred. The payouts can be transferred then to a contingent beneficiary. So you can stretch that out again after the original beneficiary's passing. Okay, again, you can utilize this on Performance Choice 8 or Versa Choice. And Versa Choice, you can actually use a non-qualified stretch with or without that enhanced liquidity benefit rider if you wish. So that's a very nice benefit as well for the client. We do have a really nice brochure. This is our the first page of our non-qualified stretch brochure called The Legacy That Lasts. So it could last longer than you imagine if you've inherited annuity premium with non-qualified. So it really becomes an issue of, hey, am I in a position as a beneficiary to be able to take on this lump sum inheritance of non-qualified money and pay taxes on all of that gain? So that's really the big question, and our brochure actually helps you answer that. You know, you've got two options as a beneficiary. You can take this as a lump sum, or you can use it as a stretch. Here's some of the benefits or problems of each option. And again, this is part of our non-qualified stretch brochure. So I know these are really tiny numbers, but you may be thinking, well, how do I calculate this? Well, there is this life expectancy table in the back of the brochure. So very simply, this is a divisor. So if you've ever used with RMDs with IRA plans, it works basically the same way. You're taking the age of the beneficiary that you're writing the policy with, and you're going to use that life expectancy divisor to divide that premium by the divisor, and that's going to give you your amount of required distribution that's required in the first year. So, for example, if you're working with, let's say, a 58-year-old beneficiary, then that divisor is 27.0. So you would take, say, your 100,000 or whatever your premium amount is and divide that. All right. So that's basically your non-qualified stretch in a nutshell. So now you might be thinking, well, what about my clients that are inheriting IRA money? You know, the Secure Act of 2020 passed, and didn't inherited IRAs go away? Well, they went away for a lot of companies, but I am very happy to say that North American was not one of them. So we have this really nice Secure Act FAQs that is available as well that you can utilize. And one of the big things that the Secure Act of 2020 did, even though it did some really good things for clients, like it said, hey, you don't have to take a required distribution until age 72 now. You can continue making contributions, all this great stuff. Well, you know, it's the IRS, so they said, okay, we're going to give you this, but we're going to take something away from you. And that was that elimination of being able to do a stretch IRA that's based upon that beneficiary, drawing it down over the beneficiary's lifetime. But they didn't take it all away. They said, okay, we're still going to let you do a stretch IRA, but the stipulation is that now that non-spousal beneficiary is going to have to draw down that inheritance within 10 years. So all of the premium that you're getting for that IRA plan or that 401k, it's got to be paid out by December 31st of that 10th year of the original owner's date of death. Okay, so we said as a company, well, what can we do then? Well, we said we can utilize our product to be able to get that paid out within that 10-year rule. So again, just a couple of things about inherited IRAs, post and pre-Secure Act. So who's eligible? If you're a non-spousal beneficiary of an IRA, 401k qualified plan, then we're going to go ahead and allow you to bring that in. The applications, we like them to be received within 1 year of the date of death of that original owner. And we're going to allow that to be put into our Performance Choice 8 product. Nice 8-year surrender charge product, easy to get that out within that 10 years. You might be saying, we're going to go into that just a little bit more, but what about if I have a client that already has an established inherited IRA and where the date of death happened, let's say back in 2015, but it's already set up as inherited, they've been taking their RMD plans, we're going to actually also take those as well. And those are available with not only the Performance Choice 8, but also with our Versa Choice product that we just spoke about. So again, inherited IRAs are designed for that retirement plan beneficiaries, whether that be, like I said, pension plan, 401k, IRAs, those qualified plans. And we're going to be able to do some tax-deferred growth already, or also getting those monies out within that 10-year time frame. And you may be wondering, too, what if I have a really young client? What if my client, say, age 48? We know that age 59 and a half is where we get dinged if we take out withdrawals prior to age 59 and a half, whether that's non-qualified or qualified. As long as they are coded as non-qualified stretch or inherited, there is no early tax penalties to that client because of that exception rule. Okay. Again, the inherited IRA, non-spousal, if you've got some clients already in force and they have a trust listed as their beneficiary, you may want to reconsider that. It's very important to have an original owner or a natural person, listed as beneficiary in order to be able to use the inherited IRA. This is just an example of our additional form that must be completed within the application packet to do the inherited IRA. This is the Post-Secure Act form. Now, to get into the product that can be utilized for this, as I mentioned, Performance Choice 8. It's a nice short 8-year surrender charge product. Take a look at this. This product actually issues all the way up through age 85. I've actually had a sister that had passed away, or a sister that had inherited her brother's IRA plan, and we were able to accommodate the inherited IRA for her because we issue all the way up to age 85. So this isn't just for those young folks. It could be really anyone. This one does require at least $20,000 to issue the policy. Again, your 10% of your accumulation value can be taken each year. I bring that up because on illustrations, I love to run inherited IRA illustrations showing the 10% penalty free coming out each year after the first contract year through the 8th year, get us through that 8-year surrender charge. And then in year 9 and 10, you could figure out with your tax advisor, how do we want to liquidate the remainder of this money? How best am I fit to take on that tax responsibility? This is not a required distribution. With this Post-Secure Act, it's just you have to have it out in 10 years. If you are at the point where I'm not equipped to deal with that taxation in the first 5 years, then wait until you're 6 to start taking a withdrawal. It's up to the client and their tax advisor how best to access or to take on that tax liability. It just has to be out within 10 years, and we take on that responsibility to make sure that's done for you. Here's our rate spotlight again. This is as of next week, Tuesday. So really on an 8-year contract, this has some very nice growth potential. You'll notice in the last 10 years, that is most recent history ending in 12/31 of 2021. So some nice growth opportunity all the way down to your 2-year point-to-point with that enhanced participation rate at 10.23. Net the fee is 8.86, and for a fixed indexed annuity, that's a pretty awesome return opportunity for you. So that is my sales ideas in a nutshell. So number one, Versa Choice for accumulation. Number two, I would say Versa Choice if you are looking for something with that enhanced liquidity benefit, clients that don't qualify for long-term care or who don't want to pay those large fees with that enhanced liquidity rider, or even a client that needs that peace of mind to be able to get their premium out if they change their mind or if the market's not going their way. Number three or four, I think, non-qualified stretch, and utilizing that either with that Versa Choice product or the Performance Choice 8. And then finally, those non-spousal inherited IRAs. And where those fit is with our Performance Choice 8 product. So with that, Jim, I will turn it back over to you. I don't know if you're wanting to open it up for questions, but I'm open to anything you want to throw at me.
Well, I want to thank you very much. I actually learned something this morning. I always do when I talk with Melva. So, and there are some questions here, a couple clarification questions. And so, first of all, one of the agents wanted to know on the ROP with Versa Choice when they have the extra rider. You mentioned that was after the third year, but can you clarify because most companies, the return of premium is a true return of premium. Can you go back into that a little bit again as far as what they would receive?
I sure can, yeah. So the return of premium, yeah, and that does kick in. It's day one of year 4. I like to say after year 3 because then you're thinking it's 3 years. But really what I was touting there is that because of the rate structure on the Versa Choice product with those higher participation rate opportunities, what I really wanted to bring to fruition is that if a client asks for a return of premium, basically they're simply submitting a surrender request form, a full surrender form, right? So if they submit that full surrender request form and we look and we see that they have this enhanced liquidity benefit rider, then we're going to compare the premium that they submitted to us. And then we're also going to calculate that surrender value, which would include the added interest that they've earned, any type of credited interest rate, less your surrender charges or interest adjustment. And depending upon how well those years have went within that credited interest rate, it is possible, it is a potential, and maybe it's not in year 4, maybe it's year 5, that the surrender value will be higher than their premium that they submitted. So we're going to give them the higher of those two values. Does that make a little more sense?
Yes, and does the NVA have a part in that?
It's part of the surrender value calculation.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is part of the surrender value calculation.
That is unique for those of you that are listening because most companies just simply give you a true return of premium and don't do that calculation. So, okay, very good. Another question I got here was, will North American accept non-qualified stretch money from other companies? So let's say that they've already done that distribution, they're already receiving money on non-qualified. Can that be transferred to North American?
Absolutely. 100%. Yes. We, as long as it is, if it's set up and, we'll take, death claim proceeds from any company. Really important. Just one thing that just kicked into my brain is that it's super important when you're talking about non-qualified stretch and inherited IRA that if you're setting up the original one, you're working with that beneficiary, that it comes directly from that other company's death claim department, and that they don't send those funds to the client. If they send the funds to the client, it disqualifies the opportunity to do those stretches. But if you've got an already set up non-qualified stretch at another company, and as long as they have taken that first required distribution within that 1 year time frame, or if we can get it transferred to us within that time frame, that's the big kicker with non-qualified stretches. You got to get that first RMD out before that 1 year date of death.
Okay. Good. And then, if I have a question, you mentioned the Versa Choice is that the number one selling product at North American now?
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Okay. Our top selling accumulation product. Yes.
Okay. And what percentage of sales would you say that represents? Like 20, 30%?
Oh, I would even go higher than that.
Okay.
Of our full sales, yeah, I would say at least, I would think 60.
Okay.
To 70%.
So
yeah.
So we need to consider the Versa Choice product for premium above 75 grand is where it's going to shine the best as far as accumulation. All the added benefits to that. This is a really strong product, so we need to make sure our producers are thinking about using this product for not only the extra benefits for 60 basis points is very cost effective, good accumulation story. So I did have another question from an agent, which was on the product training, kind of stepping back a little bit from a perspective of, is the product training product by product now at North American, or is it an all-in-one training?
Oh, they've been with us for a while, apparently. Yeah, it is product by product now. So you're just needing, and it's on the Reg Ed website, and you're needing a product code, and it's just whatever product you're looking to write is the only product you need to take the training for. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have this morning. I want to thank you for your presentation today, Melva. Very good. I really like the sales pieces. I know they're hard to read, but those are very good, especially on the non-qualified. I know for us that have been working in the business for a number of years, it gets confusing. The Secure Act has really confused a lot of people, and then when you mix in the non-qualified stretch to that. So if there's any questions that come about as you're working with these cases, and I get more of those all the time, again, lately on qualified, and you kind of get confused with the old rules, with the new rule, and what products are available. So thanks for helping us sort that out. And then if any of you need help with upcoming cases, whether they are non-qualified stretch or inherited IRA money, or just straight annuity cases, please let us know what those are, and we will be glad to get you information, get an illustration. Again, I believe everything Melva talked about today is something that can be illustrated. Is that right?
It is. You betcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
I'd love to help. Yeah. Get a hold of Jim. He'll get a hold of me. Or you can get a hold of me. Yeah, we'd love to help out with these. And this is just something I've taken on. I love just that we're a home for these, that we have a great product for you to utilize with these opportunities. So, yeah. Use me.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for attending today. I appreciate your time. And if you do have something that you want to look forward to, kind of see what North American has to offer, again, it's sometimes easier when you have something in front of you or an illustration. If you do want to get appointed, remember that you can get contracted with North American for both life and annuity through us with them. So, but I do appreciate your time. Again, anything that comes up, any questions, feel free to call me here at the office, or you've got my email on your screen. We certainly appreciate it. We look forward to helping you with your business here in 2022. So thanks again, Melva. And everyone have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of your week. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jim.